I'm here today in a dress I never worn before. This is the dress I've been wearing for the last 3 months. I actually started pretty much like one of you. I had a lot of advantages, but I started in 1983 when I graduated from Madras, University of Madras, Guindy Engineering College. And then I was an electrical engineer. So those days, we always thought, if you're an electrical engineer, you should do something in electrical engineering. And the good thing nowadays is, none of you feel like that. You could be an electrical engineer and making pizzas as a startup, or you could be a software engineer and start a drug discovery cycle. And that's what is the difference between your generation and my generation. So anyway, we had this opportunity while in college that these transformers, the railway transformers, they wanted these small transformers because they wanted to change those old kerosene lanterns to, electric lanterns. So we actually bid for the tender, myself and classmates. And we won the tender because against the big contractors, we had the technology, we had low overhead cost, and we won the tender. That was my first initial entrepreneurial experience. After that, I went to United States, studied there, and that was the greatest experience. And that is where I think a lot of you guys are missing out on. I had an opportunity to become a taxi driver. I had an opportunity to become a bartender. I had an opportunity to teach the underprivileged children computers. It's not just the education, it's not just the degree I earned. I earned 20 degrees while in those 2 or 3 years. And that definitely holds me in good stead. And that is some of the opportunities you guys are going to miss. I don't think you'll ever have those opportunities. And these are wonderful experiences. Oops. I think I have a wrong slide going. Can you go to the next slide? I think I have it in the pocket. Okay, that's fine. You can start it. So, started many businesses, successful in some, failed in many, and my business is, again, old school of thought. So initially I thought I had to do all my businesses or startups had to be in my field of competence. So I was involved in electronics, instrumentation, firmware for healthcare equipment, and so on. Luckily, some of these were big hits, and my primary business was innovation. We used to have patents and copyrights, and some of these became big, and fortunately, companies like Wipro and General Electric picked up some of these. They also asked me to become the CEO of those companies. So after my entrepreneurship career, I actually became a professional. I worked in General Electric as one of the CEOs of the startup company, GEMS IT, and then Wipro Healthcare IT, I was the CEO and managing director. And after a reasonable amount of success, I thought, I come from a rural background. My village is about 40 kilometers from here, actually 35 kilometers from here. And it's quite backward. And there are phenomenal opportunities in rural India, and a lot of you know about it. So we started with one organization, which was foundation named after my father. Can someone help me with the, let me try and figure this out. Okay, so after my stint in General Electric, we started this rural youth training program. And I thought we had this youth force who's highly energetic, but they lack 2 or 3 important things: education, exposure, and therefore confidence. So the whole idea was to train these guys to build confidence. And So we started taking students from rural India, and the qualification is they should have failed 10th standard. And the qualification is they should have no other opportunity for growth or progress except through this program. So typically they were between 17 and 21 years old, ready to do anything. They had the dignity of labor. And the selection criteria was, we had a test, was 50% based on need, then 25% on attitude, then aptitude. We had skills to evaluate all this. And then we had a small stipend during the training period. And this was my most successful program I ever undertook. So these were the training courses. GPS, at that time we were involved in GPS and GIS and things like that. All kinds of vocational skills. These are the buildings they constructed, and they also know engineering drawing. So while I was traveling in Germany, these 10th standard failed rural kids used to send AutoCAD drawings or sketches, engineering sketches to Germany, say, is this okay, is this okay? And I could make them more productive than 99% of the mechanical engineers I ever came across. This was a crane they constructed. This particular crane also has a patent because the bucket that picks up floats in water. So this was for picking up water hyacinth from Hussain Sagar Lake to make it clean. So there's a patent behind this. This was a pizza oven. All of them know not only how to make pizzas, but also the pizza oven, also the tomato sauce from the tomatoes grown in the villages, and the wheat flour and things like that. So this is the pizza oven they made, concrete molding, and of course adventure sports to build them confidence. So all of them are skilled in all these sports. And this was the most successful program. Computers, they get a couple of degrees. They also do some volunteer work, and this is the floods in Kurnool. Okay. Now, why am I showing you this? Not only it was part of my career, my experience, I think we can. Now, one of the things is after this training program, I guarantee them a job. Now, it's very, very difficult to get youth jobs. I can get 10 people job, 100 people job, but definitely not 1,000 people. And I think that is the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge in our country is not, as you think, corruption. It is not healthcare. It is not education. It is not communal violence. It's not cross-border terrorism. The biggest challenge our country is facing is gainfully employing youth. And I think you guys are going to solve that problem. Because in United States and all the countries, in United States I have the data, I think about 95% of, almost 100% of all new jobs created is created by startups. So you guys are going to make a difference. Another thing is, if the number of startups is more than 22 or 23%, maybe someone can help me on this, I think then you start impacting the economy. So the reason I showed this particular presentation was, it had an impact on me in two different ways. I learned a lot from this. This program was successful, but a lot of things I did after this were not very successful. My job was to get these guys jobs. So one of the things is, wherever I could find them positions, I could get them jobs. But I was trying to make them entrepreneurs. I was trying to make them start their own startups. And I'll tell you 4 different projects we did. One of them was agro-based because they are from rural. There's a particular bio fertilizer. Basically, it's a fungus. It attaches to the roots, and the root system, it helps the root system. It absorbs the nutrients from the soil and transmits it to the roots. So it acts like a fertilizer. So this costs about 1,000 rupees a kg. But if you make it in your house, you don't need much equipment. I think the equipment costs less than 1,000 rupees. It costs only like 70 rupees to manufacture it. I thought it's a great business. We tried, and I'm not yet successful. I have not given it up because I did not do it. I was making them. I was trying to force them and become an entrepreneur. I was trying to give them all the environment, all the knowledge, the funding required to do their own startup. and somehow it didn't work. And one of my favorite projects is this pizzas. I lived in United States, and we have to cook your own food, and the best thing is buy a frozen pizza, buy 10 frozen pizzas, put it in your freezer, and whenever you want, you microwave it. And these guys know how to make pizzas. So we started a company, 51% owned by them, and 49% owned by one of my angel investors, including me. And we did everything. And the pizzas were tasty. They were probably the only frozen pizzas in the market. Basically, you can put them in the freezer, take it out, microwave, and eat it. So, good pricing, all organic. We thought it's going to succeed. Never succeeded. Then Vikarabad nearby, beautiful place to visit this time. It's like visiting Ooty or south of France in this season. Nice lakes and hills, and you can do mountain biking, and you can do kayaking in the lakes, and you can trek in the forest. So, and these guys are trained in adventure sports. So we gave them funding, asked them to buy some mountain bikes, give them some boats, and this thing never worked. Great business model. So almost everything that I tried in the process of helping these guys have failed. So I think one thing I learned is, in a startup, no one can force or make an entrepreneur successful. They can only, I think all the thing they can do is provide an enabling environment. It is only you who can make yourself successful. No amount of funding will make you successful. So that is some of my learning. And this also led me into politics, because these rural youth were from the western side of the city, which is incidentally the most beautiful part of Telangana. Beautiful in 3 seasons or 2 seasons, and in summer it's like a desert. So that actually led me into politics. Some of the things I understood is, some of these guys, although so close to the city, they used to come to the office, and when you say, please go and deliver this in this building, they would not know, because that has a lift. They don't know how to open the door and press the button. That's okay. But there are also some of these guys, it is almost unimaginable. I would say, please take this paper and put it in that room. They could not do the job, because the exposure is so low, because they never lived in a concrete building with a door and a doorknob. So they're actually trapped inside this room. They don't know how to get. So you had to explain to them, there's this big wooden plank, that is the door, and there's one big lump there made of copper. You have to hold it, and hold it tight and turn it left, and while turning it, you have to push it open, and that's the door that opens you out into the next room. So that was the level of exposure. And some of these guys have been successful in job and successful in many things. A lot of our patents, the prototypes are made from them. We have some patents going on in US. These are electromechanical components, and all the prototypes are made by them, not engineers. So I could make them do anything except become a successful entrepreneur. For that, I think the answer is in the entrepreneur itself. All you require is an enabling environment. And I think that is what the government of Telangana has recognized. And they're going to provide you with that environment. And rest is all up to you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.